Hey everyone, this is Tiffany C and Damon. We are at Two Mics Up. Thanks for joining.
007.
What's happening, everybody? It's Monday night. I'm your man, Dame DNYDC. This is Two Mics Up. And today, man, I tell you, boy, talk about radiant, talk about dazzling. Those two adjectives really describe tonight's guest. And you'll see that radiance come through once she joins me here on the stage tonight. She has, put in, work in front of the camera, behind the camera, just multi-talented, and I'm honored to be able to bring her to you all this evening. So I hope you enjoy tonight's conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I'm going to bring to the other mic tonight's guest, Tiffany C. Adams. Tiffany, how you doing this evening?
Hi, Damon. What a wonderful introduction.
Well, thank you. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm just trying to keep it real. Yeah, keep it real. I mean, look at just the radiance and everything. I mean, I love it. I love it. Well, there you have it, lady. You see the smile, you see the energy. And like I said, I'm really proud. Tiffany, actress, producer. We've been able to see you in, Attila, Alien Dawn, Lincoln Lawyer, 911, I believe, CSI Vegas, so much more. But before we dive into your career, I always like to start with something that let us know who you are. So if you could, in 5 words or less, describe Tiffany Adams and explain why you use those words to describe yourself.
Okay, 5 words or less. Honestly, I think at the top of the list, I would have to say loving. It's very important to me. I serve a God of love, so as we are his children, we need to show love to each other, and we all need love. So I say tenacious.
Oh, okay.
Tenacious.
Like
It's
been
an experience out here in LA because I was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, and by a single parent. My mother raised three kids on her own. So then when I came to LA, I knew one casting director. Wow. And I think within 2 months of me landing here, I booked my first role in a feature that actually shot back in Ohio. It was crazy. My friends back there, I was gone for 2 months, and they fly me back, and they're like, "Oh my God, she said she was going to go to LA to be an actress, and she really did."
Wow!
I had a dry spell, and people out here that want to join the entertainment industry, they'll find that it's a roller coaster ride.
Right, but tenacious. I really feel, and I see that, and when you talk about that dry spell. Did that tenacity really rise and really show, for you? And in what way? Because I think it's great that you share that people really understand that it's sometimes not as easy as it seems. We as the fan, we see the celebrity, right? But we don't really see the day-to-day struggle. And how did tenacity really play in, for you to be able to fill in those gaps while you had that blank space, if you will, between jobs?
I think a lot of my upbringing contributed to that. I have to give my mom props because, as I said, she was a single parent, and watching her as sometimes life just dumps on you. I'm keeping it real. Sometimes life just dumps on you, and you just have to kind of dodge and roll and learn from that. That's right. Comes at you again. Oh wait, I saw it coming.
Right.
Pivot and go this way. And I think it was around this time, it was a while ago, I think it was around this time when I got together with some friends, and we started writing little skits to film. just to keep ourselves
Okay.
busy. I was a licensed
Okay.
optician at the time as well, so that's how I
Wow.
supported myself. By the way, any aspiring actors, young aspiring actors, please do yourself a favor. Learn
Mhm.
how to do something else besides the craft. Learn
Right.
something practical. There is nothing wrong with learning to work with your hands. I made eyeglasses and dispensed contact lenses. You know, I worked with in the
Wow.
optical department at various hospitals and such. So yeah, in between and going to auditions on my lunch break. Okay,
Wow.
that's how that was. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Uh, it was a constant sweat. But
Wow.
anyway, yeah, you
That's how
and
got to
it's
stay on that
okay.
grind.
Yeah, it keeps you. Yeah, you keep. I stayed grounded.
Mhm.
I'd always dreamt of an actress. I was an only child for a long time, and I would. My mother, extremely dramatic as a child, extremely dramatic. At 9 years old, my mom was like, "You know what? I can't take this kid anymore." She put me in community theater in Toledo Repertory Theater. She, and and there were times when I auditioned and got scholarships for theater
Wow.
and
Wow.
and trained and yeah,
Wow. And see, I
scholarships,
love that. I love
and
how
I
you
learned
say that,
from childhood on up. So
and see that's the beauty of it, an experienced veteran like yourself in the entertainment industry. I'm glad that you share that because people really need to understand it. You don't go straight to the fame, if you will, and the riches. It's a long haul and it's a long grind, and you really have to find ways, to keep yourself afloat. And I love that because we have now come. I don't want to say full circle. We're at a point now where I know for myself and my family, my wife and I, we really a fan of yours, and we've been able to see you in different pieces of work. Lincoln Lawyer,
yeah.
911. I think I mentioned Alien Dawn, and I'm curious to know for you, Tiffany, like these are all varying type of roles, some larger, some smaller, but
Mhm.
what has been to date for you? Maybe your favorite role that you've played so far, and why?
Okay, this was tough because I there were aspects of many of the roles that I've been cast in. I really
Hmm.
like them. I just connected to the character. Um, let's see. I mean, if it's a sci-fi futuristic tough chick, she's fighting the
Uh-huh.
alien. I had fun with that. We had like the best props and the best what do you call it, the special effects.
Uh-huh.
I was even once cast in a pilot, and it didn't get picked up though. But I went in. I played. Okay, this is a funny story.
Okay.
Originally, I turned down the audition, and the
Huh?
director just really wanted to see me, and I'd missed
Hmm.
it for some reason. I forget exactly why, but I couldn't fit everything in, so I ended up turning down the audition. So he extended the audition because he really wanted to see what I could do with the role. So I said,
Oh
okay,
wow.
if you're going to do that, fine. So I had this
Right.
vision. I went over the scene. I walked in as myself, and the role was for, I think she was like a 900-year-old witch or something, that
Okay.
transforms into a beautiful seductress and goes into town and lures people
Wow.
back to her later. And I
Wow.
don't know what happened after that. But anyway, roles were already cast. They were both
Okay.
cast with two different actors. And I went in and did my take on it.
You're right.
He stopped and he looked at me, and he grinned. He said, I just cast both of these roles, but I'm going to call both. And I'm sorry to the actresses.
Right. Right. Hey, look.
He cast me for both roles. He said, I'm going to have one
Wow.
actress. You can do both of these roles. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I
Wow.
can sleep. It was fun.
Look, look at
So
that.
that was
Look
but
at that.
that was about 2 hours in makeup with the prosthetic
Going
and the
from both.
latex. Yeah.
Wow.
2 hours in, 2.5 hours in, and about an hour to take it all off. Yeah,
Jeez. And
that's
and
fun.
how long were you on set? Like, was this and like what did that set look like, and how long was this? How long did it take to shoot? Because that's a lot to be going through
It
makeup
was
just alone.
pilot. Yeah, it was. For
Okay. Okay.
my scenes were only a couple of days, and we
Okay.
shot
Okay.
out. It was supposed to be like a forest, and
Mm-hmm.
we had live wolves and live pythons. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
pythons.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I don't
Around,
know
and
about
they were supposed to be living with me in my little cottage, and they were there with the
okay.
wrangler.
Yeah. Well, I hope the Wrangler was really close because yeah, I don't.
It was a night
Woo, that's
shoot. It was
oh
crazy,
at
but
night.
yeah, it was a night shoot.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, I can say because you definitely came through in your sci-fi roles, and you come through in everything that you do. I mean, again, being a fan of your work, but listening to that too in these roles, like, so let's take the sci-fi roles that you've played in. Like, how do you prepare for those roles that really sometimes, really unbeknownst to us, but you really have sometimes complex situations,
Mm.
for your characters that they're going through, different circumstances and difficult circumstances. And as a human being, like, I'm curious to know, as you as an artist, how do you connect with that, and how do you, work and prepare to bring that to life for us as the audience?
It's interesting. I'm going. It's kind of a twofold process. If it's uh,
Okay.
even outside of a sci-fi role, any character going through anything, these are people,
Mm, yeah.
and as in life, things happen.
Right.
Whether it be a health challenge, if it's a disease that someone's battling,
Mm-hmm.
research the effects of the disease. Think about the life of the character and how this disease is going to affect every aspect of their life. Add a little bit of what experience you may have had with that or something
Right.
similar. Mix
Mm,
it together and then filter your performance through that. And talk to with the director. And often too, your fellow actors, they enhance a performance. It's a ping pong. You know,
right.
or yeah, you're playing ping pong. You're
Mm-hmm.
tossing the ball to the one, and it's kind of that case. So even
Right.
though you're filtering, you're still interacting with how the other character is reacting to you in that moment.
Right. Right.
Was that
No, no, that was
that,
great
that
because it
was
makes me.
okay?
No, that was great because I'm listening because it makes me draw on, the human interaction, right? That back and forth and that ping pong. And this is where sometimes
Yeah.
it just made me think. I don't know why. Like, so what if you don't? I don't want to say what if you don't. I mean, I hope you have chemistry, but like, how do you build that chemistry though? Sometimes with that other, actor or actress or artist that you're working with. Because sometimes as human beings though, like I look, I know sometimes you just meet people, you're just like, oh boy, it's an energy drain. Or oh boy, I got to get my mind right to deal with that. So like, how do you sometimes work through that? Or have you been in? I see you shaking your head. Sometimes you've had that experience where just the energy from the other person is just not there.
Yeah. Um, it's all about service. It's all about servicing the
Your face,
story.
your face, right?
Am I telling it myself? It's all
Yeah.
about servicing the story. So, sometimes honestly, sometimes if there's tension on set, sometimes you may just have to, with the other actor, you may just have to step away and say, "Hey, let's go have a cup of coffee and talk." And there's
Mm,
always something about the other person to
right,
admire, to latch
right.
onto. It
Mm,
may not happen right away, but there's 9 times out of 10, you're going to have, because we're all human, you're going to have
right.
something that you can both relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm,
find that common
good point.
ground
Very good point.
and you go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that building that working rapport.
And this isn't
Mm,
it. This is with anything.
right.
I could be standing in line at the post office with around a group of curmudgeons, but
Right.
there's got to be everybody. everybody's crazy and angry, but you have to just smile and say, hey, how was your day? And maybe they just need somebody to listen to them.
True. And sometimes that smile just makes a difference too. Just smiling at them can make a difference. And I like how you said that with the curmudgeons out here and everything that's going on. And like you said, being at the post office could be a challenge. And it just makes me just think, you've been in front of the screen, behind the screen, worked on different projects. What would you say has been, if anything, because you seem like you just have the wherewithal and, like you said, the tenacity to work through things. But still you have challenges. And I wonder for you, what's been maybe the most challenging aspect of your acting career so far? And, how have you been able to, outside of tenacity, work through and overcome, these challenges, especially, and I'm curious to know, because I know it's very hard as a woman of color, in the industry.
Yes. I remember being submitted time and time again. This is in the past, though.
Okay.
And for roles that were perfect for me, but the way the rules worked was they had to submit an overall breakdown for the character, but they already had a type in mind.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
And I would get so frustrated. I had been in the room once with my agent while she pitched me, and they just flat out told her they're not going to cast a Black woman for this role, so don't bother.
Wow.
And on paper, I fit the description to a T. Now, this is not the first time that this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's fighting the discouragement.
Yeah.
Over time, it has changed.
Mm-hmm.
People like Shonda Rhimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, my mind goes blank, but there are more writers.
Mm-hmm.
And in television, the writers are the showrunners, so they're quite often the producers as well. Okay. So they're looking to, they understand now that they need to play to a broader audience,
right?
And that audience is demanding representation.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're looking for longevity, they're going to need to deliver.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so it's made them, whether they wanted to or not, a little more conscientious, a little more sensitive.
Right.
Also, and this is just a personal thing with me.
Okay.
I remember being out here. Now I've been out here a while, but when I first started, I was getting offers to play roles that were not necessary. I didn't want to play the prostitute number 3.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I had all this. I'm falling off my stool. All this experience, and I get, okay, you got 3 lines for prostitute number 3.
Number 3, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And just there are, you can have pride and grace and emulate morals.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can be of any ethnicity.
It's powerful.
Getting people to understand that's been a challenge. Getting people in college time to understand that's been a challenge. So I was once told that you seem kind of uppity, and I'm like, no, that's not quite it. I'm just trying to make sure that
totally understand
that my women like me are represented with
totally understand
grace and pride and respectability.
And listening to you, I totally understand that, but again, not being in Hollywood or from Hollywood, but I can understand how someone, especially a woman, of color, who holds her head high and has certain expectations, you know, others, and this is why I'm proud to be able to have this platform. We have media and outlets that try to tell us what we should be. Like you say, you're only good enough to be prostitute number three, you know, but your divine being, your creation alone is magnificent. And then to be able to hold your head high in the way that you walk and you talk, you're a, and again, it's not being uppity, but your elegance raises you above that. So I think it's very important, and I'm glad that you shared that, because a lot of our people of color need to understand that it's okay to have some pride and care and love for yourself and how you want to be depicted, not how someone's going to tell you how you should be depicted. And I really love that, and thank you for sharing that. Man, that was a gem right there, ladies and gentlemen. Play it back, listen to it again. Because Tiffany really shared that with us. I want to just change lanes for a minute. Then, you know,
Okay.
with the experience that you had as an actress and a producer, then right, you have a lot of days. Probably, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of different things going on in your life and your cup. How do you stay, focused? When you're on a project and really focus in and navigate the roller coaster ride of life and everything else going on. So really, to really stay focused and see a project through.
Um, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes things get let go because there's only so many hours in a day, and there's only one of
Right,
me.
right.
And and I can be a little dynamo, but even the Energizer Bunny's batteries run out. You need to
So
recharge.
true. So true.
So I prioritize, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Spirituality is
Mm,
core for me, so I
yeah.
can't let that slide.
Right. Right.
And then it seems personally, when it seems that I give attention to that,
Mm-hmm.
and everything else just kind of falls into
Falls in
place.
place.
It may not
You
happen right when I intend it to, but it will happen.
and and again, another great nugget. Just really centering yourself,
Yeah.
like you say, and that priority and prioritizing things, you make yourself the center first. And I love it, because then usually everything else does fall into place. Yes, some things do get missed. I totally know what you're talking about. Some days I don't know if I'm going left or right, up, down. And sometimes I just take a pause, like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Just take a tick, get yourself focused, and then prioritize the things that I need to, and then everything else seems to kind of fall in place. And yeah, there are a few things that fall off the table, but I get them.
They'll be there.
Yeah, they'll be there. I'll get them later. I'll get
They're
them later.
there. They're gonna be there. They're not going
It's so
anywhere.
true.
Trust me,
It's
they'll be
so
right
true.
there waiting for you.
You never lied about that. Never lied about that. It's so true. So look, Tiffany, we've covered. Man, this has been a great conversation. We're coming to the back end, but I have to ask you one more question, right? Because society today is really it's nuts, right? We're dealing with so many different issues, from crime to economic inequality. And I'm just curious for you to know, as an actress, you know, not just you, but celebrities who have a platform. Do you think that they should more or less use the platform to help address some of these issues, to help try to promote a positive narrative, or should maybe stay in their lane and deal with things that maybe are more impactful to them, and it may not be any of these issues?
Okay. Now we're getting into my core beliefs.
Okay. Okay.
Um, as far as okay, how do I want to say this? I do trust and believe that mankind as a whole, we're going to get through all this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I don't think that it's actually going to come from us.
Okay.
Because through the centuries, all the different kingdoms, all the different world powers, there's always been at least one group of people that were suffering.
Oh. Yeah.
Wow. No rule has been able to solve the problems for everyone all at once. Wow. So I tend to just, and I just shared my personal take on the world scene.
Right.
I don't think that it's going to, this is not going to continue forever. It can't. It will not continue. It will not be allowed to continue forever because this is a pitiful state.
Very.
And it's heartbreaking. And I'll be honest with you, I can't always watch the news. I have to take it in doses.
I'm with you on that.
But as far as a platform, me personally, I would probably stand more in a neutral zone because I really truly believe that it doesn't matter what man or woman is in office.
Right.
There's certain things that they're just not going to be able to clear up. They don't have the power.
Agreed. Yes, Tiffany, you got my hair standing up on my arms because I couldn't agree with you more. But to me, it's an interesting question because I agree. Like you say, some things I choose to stand in the neutral on, but I do believe collectively we do have a power to or push the needle. But I do agree, like you said, I don't think we will see change or find change maybe in our lifetime, but I do think at some point in time this has to come to an end and there will be a change. I just hope that the change happens for the better and we kind of get back past a lot of this craziness that we see every day in our society. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm just in awe. Again, I'm thankful that you took some time out of your schedule to sit here with us. Before you go, please, any social media information that you'd like to share, or any upcoming projects that you want to drop real quick before we close out today's episode?
Social media. My Instagram is the number 1 and my name, Tiffany C. Adams. It's the digit 1, Tiffany C. Adams, and YouTube channel. The same one, Tiffany C. Adams. I did just wrap 4 days on a show for CBS.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is. They have you sign the non-disclosure forms.
All I know is, ladies and gentlemen, look out for Tiffany on CBS. Something coming soon.
Well, I'll tell you what. That when I get the go ahead to announce it on social media. I have tons of photographs of people, and these are people that you're going to love. These people, these people you're going to love. I got to be careful because I don't want CBS mad at me.
Okay. we won't do that. But when you get a chance, please.
Yes.
We will make sure that we go out and we support it. We share it with our audience as well. Tiffany, you're amazing. You're awesome. And continue to dazzle and continue to be as radiant as ever. And thank you so much for your time today.
Much love to everyone. Remember the law of love. Much love to everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Tiffany Adams. I'm your man, Dame DNYDC. This is 2 Mics Up, Season 7 on the Mogul TV Global Network. We are now in 45 countries, over 100 million viewers worldwide. So continue to follow. You can follow 2 Mics Up on social media. IG, Facebook, Twitter, or that X, I guess they call it now, and YouTube at 2 Mics Up. And like we do at the end of each and every show, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. May you stay safe, stay blessed. Mics out.
007.